Yo, champs in the making, it's your boy Starmeistr and Luap, aka the Pichu Bros, and welcome to the 4th episode of the Pokemon Chronicles review series. Today, we'll be reviewing Episode 6, Cerulean Blues. The episode originally aired on December 10, 2002 in Japan and on June 24, 2006 in the US. So, without further ado, let's get started on the recap. Similar to the Brock episode last week, this episode also begins just after Ash, Misty, and Brock parted ways by the end of the Silver Conference. Misty heads home to Cerulean City where she takes over the Cerulean Gym as her sisters are going on a vacation. Along the way, her attention is caught by a television report saying that the Pokemon Inspection Agency is closing down substandard gyms that are unsafe, unclean, and uncool. Misty overhears that the PIA are on their way to Cerulean City, so she hurries home to make sure that the gym looks good before the PIA arrives. But as soon as she gets home, she is greeted by a rampaging Gyarados wreaking havoc for all the people and Pokemon in the gym. She tries to return Gyarados to the Pokeball, but Nurse Joy recommends not to. This causes Misty to battle Gyarados. But before she could do that, the Sea Serpent gushes off a powerful wave that stops her from battling it. With no choice, Misty, Nurse Joy, and some fans of the Cerulean sisters who were there to look after the gym before Misty arrives, leave the place to think of a plan on how to stop Gyarados. We then get a cute reunion with Horsey and Starmie as Gyarados quickly scares them off. Misty, being the aspiring Water-type master, finds herself reflecting about her traumatizing past. As a baby, Misty innocently crawled inside a Gyarados' mouth, which caused her to develop a phobia of Gyarados. But she realizes that to be a good Water-type gym leader, Misty has to get over her fear and solve the problem by herself. Misty's first plan on taming Gyarados is to dress up in her mermaid outfit and perform an underwater ballet. This will hopefully help Gyarados remember the times when it danced with Misty as a Magikarp in the Misty Mermaid and recreate the bond they had forged together. Kalos Queen in the making? Okay, but how can she talk underwater? Anyways, this plan doesn't work though, as Gyarados just creates a whirlpool that causes Misty to faint. While unconscious, Misty dreams of Ash and Brock congratulating her for being the new Cerulean City gym leader. They slowly leave her though, and give her some reassurance that she'll do great on her own and that they believe in her. She then finds her foot wrapped by Gyarados, and this scares her enough to wake up.
Next, Misty tries to return Gyarados back to its Pokeball, but since it doesn't obey, she went with her last resort of trapping Gyarados in a cage, much to her reluctance. And while uttering monologues of doubt and surrender, the invincible Pokemon brothers show up to challenge Misty to a Pokemon battle with the Cerulean City gym leader status on the line. They even get a ton of people to watch the battle. Kin opens up with Hitmonchan against Misty Staryu, but Hitmonchan struggles to maneuver himself underwater, so the heroic Staryu tries to rescue him. But Hitmonchan was only faking its struggle and sucker punches Staryu into oblivion. Nurse Joy calls this illegal and gives the win to Misty anyway. The next battle was between Corsola and Tentacruel. Tentacruel goes for Bubble Beam, and it looks like Corsola's down with those swirly eyes, but Misty calls for cover and commands Corsola to retaliate with Tackle. But all three of the Invincible brothers joined the party as they sent their own Tentacruels, making the battle a 3-on-1. Nurse Joy points out the violation and declares him disqualified from the battle. The Tentacruels attack Corsola with Poison Sting, provoking Misty to dive down and rescue it. The brothers then command their Tentacruels to attack Gyarados as Misty pulls out an Ash Ketchum and swims in front of Gyarados to protect it from Poison Sting. This act of selflessness thaws Gyarados' frozen heart and awakens it into saving Misty as it breaks out of the cage and scoops the semi-unconscious Misty out of the water, eliciting loud cheers from the audience. The brothers try to attack Gyarados, but they are no match for it. Misty commands it to use Hyper Beam, landing the finishing blow on the Tentacruels, and then a Hydro Pump blasting the brothers out of the gym. Gyarados is finally tamed and rubs its face into Misty, creating a newfound bond between Misty and the Pokemon she's been terrified of her entire life. Misty asks if Gyarados would go back to the Pokeball, to which it happily agrees. Nurse Joy congratulates Misty on a job well done and tells her that she's proven herself to be a fine gym leader. She goes on to say that the Cerulean Gym has passed inspections, revealing a plot twist that Nurse Joy was actually a Pokemon inspection agent all this time. With Cerulean City back in business, Nurse Joy says that she's going to the Hoenn region. Misty asks Nurse Joy if she could do her a favor and tell Ash that she finally made it as a gym leader, but that never happened. The episode ends with Misty again reflecting on her dream as she realizes what Ash and Brock were saying were true, that she can become a strong gym leader on her own. And now for our ratings and reviews.
I'm giving this episode a rating of 8 out of 10. This is the episode that Misty needed during her time in the original series. Development-wise, this episode was fantastic at fleshing out Misty's character. In contrast to her usual bubbly and sarcastic attitude, Cerulean Blues showed more of Misty's vulnerable side. Thus, we got to delve deeper into her thoughts and feelings, with her constantly doubting her skills and questioning her goals of being a water Pokemon master. I'd even argue that this might be a better character development episode than what we got from the Brock one. This episode also concluded Misty's lifelong fear of Gyarados, and I believe they handled it nicely, giving us a backstory and Misty adopting Ash's style of protecting Pokemon and eventually gaining their trust. Entertainment-wise, I think they did a pretty good job at using the Pokemon Invincible Brothers as the villains. They may be annoying, but it's cool that the writers used Misty's rivals in Gotta Catch You Later to put her to the test this time. And while having an audience to watch the battle doesn't make total sense, their presence just made the situation feel even bigger and grander, pushing Misty to really fight for what rightfully belongs to her. I absolutely love the plot twist of Nurse Joy being a PIA, and the ending of Misty taking inspiration from Ash and Brock in her dream was a beautiful way to end the episode. But as for the negative points, I do think that the battle could have been handled much better. I mean, Staryu getting one-shotted by a single punch and Nurse Joy calling the move as illegal don't sit well with me. I think Staryu could have survived that and Hitmonchan won fair and square. It would have been better if Misty won one round, Kim won another, and then saved the cheating for the final round. The episode didn't also have some banger moments, but it was entertaining and well written enough to receive an 8 out of 10 from me. And as a Misty stan, I'm just happy to see her get this amazing development and truly earn her gym leader status. Oh, and Starmie was in this episode too.
This episode receives a 7 out of 10 for me. It was a great episode in terms of giving Misty character development, and re-establishing her position as a Cerulean City gym leader was fantastic. I also really enjoyed the placement of this episode being right after Brock's episode. The Invincible Brothers were a good baddie of the day, and this episode canonically takes place right after the episode where they were initially defeated by Misty, making their reappearance make a lot more sense. Where this episode excelled in character development for Misty, it also didn't have many strong points to it. While being a solid episode, there wasn't much that had it stand out on its own. Misty finally got over her fear of Gyarados, which was a nice touch since it's something that she had been shown to fear for the entire show. For things I didn't like specifically, one of them was how Kim's Hitmonchan just punched. Yes, it didn't even use a move on Staryu and one-shot it. Staryu has been established as one of her stronger Pokemon, and for it to be defeated in such a ridiculous way wasn't appealing to me. Also, when Gyarados was being attacked by the brother's Tentacruel and Misty was protecting it, no one jumped in to stop their attacks. Nurse Joy only helped by telling the brothers to stop and that they're banned from any official battles. Literally, a full crowd of people just standing by. This problem could have easily been fixed by any of them literally just like helping her out, you know? I know Starmeistr was happy to see Starmie in this episode even if it didn't do anything. Starmie should have definitely been the one to help Misty out of the whirlpool and not Horsey, to be honest. A good episode that had some weaker points spread throughout, but overall a really enjoyable one.
So yeah, that was a review and recap for episode 6 of Pokemon Chronicles Cerulean Blues. If you enjoyed this video, then I highly suggest you subscribe to both our channels. Links are found in the description below. For the next episode of this review series, that will come out next week on Luap's channel, so you're gonna wanna head over to his channel to check it out. Or if you want, you can click on the playlist that we made and find all the episodes neatly there. Until next time, thanks for watching, and the Pichu Bros will gotta catch ya later.
No, the challenge she accepted was from the Invincible Pokemon Brothers, not from just me, one single brother.
I think you're too chicken to fight by yourself.